Welcome back to another episode of the M50b30 stroker build. Today I'm going to show you what parts are needed from the M54b30, and then hopefully should get them installed into the block depending on how much time I have. So I've got the parts on the bench now, and I'll go through them with you. Right, so as you can see, pistons, rods, crank and cam. Obviously pretty self-explanatory. As you can see, 6 pistons, nice and clean, ready to go. I've installed piston rings on some of them that needed, otherwise I've left them if they've been good and decent. New bearings, new rod bearings. This is the cam. This is the inlet cam out of the M54b30, and what you need to do to this to make it fit into the vanos on the M52 or M50, whatever head you're using, you need to grind or cut 5mm off the end of the gear. This is where it connects to the vanos, so you need to cut 5mm off the end, otherwise it won't fit. Other than that, it's straightforward install into the M50 or M52 head. And then we have the M54b30 crank, obviously, which gives it the extra stroke. If you want to know what the part number is for this, it's there you go, 1403866. Just if you're searching for it. So that's basically the parts needed out of the M54. From the top of my head, there's nothing else really you need to pull out with a block, but that's basically it. Right, so next on the list is going to give the bores a hone. I'm going to do that quickly, then give the block another quick clean, and then we can start installing the crank, the rods and pistons. Right, so I've given the inside of the block another good clean. I've installed the new bottom end bearings and put a bit of assembly lube on each one. I'm going to get the crank now installed next, get the caps on with the new crank bearings as well, and get that all torqued down, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the bottom end now is assembled, crank, rods, pistons, all in the block and bolted up. I'll give you a look. So as you can see, everything's in place. I've used new connecting rod bearings and new crank bearings. The old ones looked alright, but obviously best to use new while we have the engine open. I've reused the main crank cap bolts, because they can be used, they're not stretch bolts. The connecting rod bolts though, I've got new ones of them, as they are stretch bolts, so one time use, so I've got new ones of them on it. Make sure to still engine lube all the faces of the bearings on each side of the connecting rods and on the main caps before you install and torque everything down. Torque wise, these main cap bolts, 20 Newton meters and 50 degrees. Connecting rod bolts are 5 Newton meters, take them out, wash and oil them, put them back in, 20 degrees and then 70 Newton meters. So obviously make sure to torque all of these bolts, guys, make sure nothing breaks when you do assemble everything. So that's basically it for this episode. Next one, hopefully we'll get the head on, get the rest of it assembled, and it'll start looking like an engine, and then we can look and start getting it fitted in the car. Thanks for watching.